Good morning, dear students. Myself Sachin S. Pawar, Head of Department of Chemistry, GSS University College, Belgaum, and I welcome you to my second video on Unit 3 Electrochemistry. Here we will discuss electrolytic cell and Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Okay, as we have seen in the last class, electrolytic cell involves use of electricity from external source and bring out chemical reactions at anode and cathode, and the entire process is called electrolysis. Let us understand this electrolysis with example. For this, let us consider electrolysis of copper sulfate solution. As you can see on your screen, I have taken a beaker in which crystals of copper sulfate are dissolved in the water to prepare a blue colored copper sulfate solution. Then two rods of copper are dipped into it as shown. Here orange color rod is made of impure copper while black colored rod is made of pure copper. Externally, orange color rod is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the pure copper rod is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. When the electricity is passed from the battery at anode, that is at the orange rod, you see copper from the rod gets oxidized to copper plus 2 and 2 electrons. Here Cu plus 2 ions will move into the solution and those 2 electrons will move in the outer circuit. Now copper plus 2 being positive gets attracted towards the cathode and there it gets reduced to copper solid. Here the electrons available are obtained from the external circuit. Point to be noted from this diagram is that the copper from the impure copper rod, that is anode, has dissolved into the solution and that in turn has deposited on the pure cathode rod, and this is just merely because of the passage of electricity. Thus now we can define electrolysis as the process of chemical decomposition of electrolyte by passing electricity, or the process of chemical change, that is oxidation reduction reaction, occurring at the electrodes when electric current is passed through the electrolyte solution. Two more examples that are listed for electrolysis are: 1. Production of sodium and magnesium metal by electrolysis of fused chlorides, and second one, production of aluminum metal by electrolysis of alumina in presence of cryolite. Among these two, the second method you will be learning in Unit 6 of Class 12, that is General Principles and Process of Isolation of Elements. The electrolysis is governed by two laws given by Faraday's, that is Faraday's first law of electrolysis and Faraday's second law of electrolysis. The Faraday's first law statement: during electrolysis, the amount of any substance deposited at an electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through electrolyte solution or through molten electrolyte. Thus, if W grams of substance is deposited by passing Q coulombs of electricity, then according to the statement, W is directly proportional to Q. Here quantity of electricity passed is Q is equal to I into T, where I is the current and T is time. Therefore W is proportional to Q implies W proportional to I into T. So if you remove proportionality constant in this equation, we can write the proportionality constant Z, and in that case we have W is equal to Z into Q, that is W is equal to Z into I into T. That is equation 1. It is the mathematical form of Faraday's first law of electrolysis, where Z, a proportionality constant called as electrochemical equivalent. In the mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics, the value of Z is unknown, so we have to find out the value of Z. For this, in equation 1, we'll consider the value of Q as 1 coulomb, value of I as 1 ampere, and the value of T as 1 second. Therefore equation 1 becomes W is equal to Z into 1, that is equal to Z. That is Z is equal to W when 1 coulomb of electricity is passed, or Z is equal to W when 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second. Thus, we can define electrochemical equivalent Z as the amount of substance deposited when 1 ampere current is passed through the electrolyte solution for 1 second, or it is also defined as the amount of substance deposited when 1 coulomb of electricity is passed through the electrolyte solution. Further, let us determine the exact value of electrochemical equivalent for mathematical calculations. For this, equation 1 implies Z is equal to W upon Q, where Q is the amount of electricity passed and W is the amount of substance deposited. Here we can consider the definition of Faradays to calculate the value of Z, and the definition of 1 Faraday of electricity is the amount of electricity required to deposit equivalent weight of substance. Therefore, equation 2 implies Z is equal to equivalent weight E divided by 1 Faraday. However, in our first class we have learnt that 1 Faraday of electricity is 96,500 coulombs. Therefore, Z also becomes equal to E upon 96,500 coulombs. Now, putting the value of Z from equation 3 into equation 1 implies W is equal to Q into E upon 96,500, or W is equal to E into IT upon 96,500, and these are the mathematical forms of Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Next, we shall learn Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Please note here that this law has to be applied when more than one substance get deposited at the respective electrodes by passing electricity. The statement of Faraday's second law is, if same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolytes, then the amount of different substances liberated at different electrodes are directly proportional to their chemical equivalent weights. Thus, mathematically, if WA and WB are the masses of substances A and B discharged or liberated at different electrodes by passing same quantity of electricity, then W is directly proportional to EA and W is directly proportional to EB. By dividing the two equations, we have WA upon WB is equal to EA upon EB, and this is the mathematical form of Faraday's second law of electrolysis. In both the equations of Faraday's laws of electrolysis, we have a term called equivalent weight, also called as equivalent mass. It is the combining capacity of the atom, and for problems we have to consider equivalent mass of an element as the ratio of its atomic mass and valency. Here atomic mass can be known from the literature, however the valency need to be determined. From PUC first year topic chemical bonding, we can determine the valency of the atom if we know the number of valence electrons. Here, if number of valence electrons n is less than 5, then the valency is n, and if the number of valence electrons is greater than or equal to 5, then the valency is 8 minus n. Example 1, carbon atom, atomic number 6, mass number 12. From the atomic number, its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Therefore, there are 4 valence electrons in its outermost shell, and hence the valency is 4. And hence, the equivalent mass is atomic mass upon valency, that is 12 divided by 4 equal to 3. Example 2, oxygen atom. Its atomic number Z is equal to 8 and the atomic mass A is equal to 16. And from its atomic number, its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4, and as it suggests, there are 6 electrons in its valence shell, and therefore the valency is 8 minus 6, that is 2. Therefore, the equivalent mass of oxygen is its atomic mass upon valency, that is 16 divided by 2, that is 8. Further, if we have to determine the valency of the cation, that is positive ions, we have to find it as the number of electrons gained in the reaction. For example, in the reaction, Mg plus 2 electrons gives Mg, You see, the magnesium ion has gained 2 electrons. Therefore, its valency is 2. And since its atomic mass is 24, the equivalent mass hence is 24 divided by 2, that is 12. Next, the valency of the anion, that is negative ion, is number of electrons lost in the reaction. For example, in the reaction, as you can see, 2 Cl- ions have gained 2 electrons to form chlorine gas, that is Cl2. Here, the number of electrons gained per Cl- ion is 1, and hence its valency is 1. And since its atomic mass is 35.5, the equivalent mass is 35.5 divided by 1, that is 35.5. This completes Faraday's laws of electrolysis. In my next video, we will solve problems on Faraday's laws of electrolysis.